the day after, and it is time for Party Scoopers. We have Jeff Link, we have Craig Robinson. They are here. They are tired because they've been up all night. So amazing turnout by people here in the state of Iowa. We'll start with you, my friend.
You guys have been with us well before the caucuses, but now it has finally happened.
Yes.
What can we take away from what happened last night?
Well, I can't believe it's finally here. We saw the results.
No, it was here. It's over.
It's over.
It's over. See, you're still in a state of shock.
Yeah, I know. Well, we had terrific turnout really on both sides. I think that was good. All the attention, all the advertising actually got people interested enough to show up on a Monday night to spend sometimes a couple hours, depending on how big your caucus was. And obviously on the Democratic side, we had an incredibly close race, closest ever in history. Hillary Clinton had a very narrow victory, but still a victory. A win is a win. And we had a casualty on the Democratic side because even last evening, Martin O'Malley suspended his campaign. So pretty eventful night.
And Hillary Clinton won 6 out of 6 coin tosses last night.
Yeah, that's right.
They're reporting on the radio this morning.
What does that mean?
So when it's a tied precinct, they were flipping the coin.
Are you serious?
Now, the one thing
Is that right? Is that how you do it?
Well, but the coin tosses are for the county delegates, not for the state delegate equivalent. So yes, it is true. There were when there's a tie, they flip a coin, but that's for who gets the delegate to the county convention, not to the final result.
I'm all for how we do things here, and I was very proud to be an Iowan last night. But there's some things about the Democratic caucus that I still scratch my head.
I was caucusing at Lincoln High School, and we were way too large for the show choir room.
How many people did you have?
We must have had 370 in our precinct, and they made everybody like literally leave the room so that you could count people as they were walking through the door.
Wow.
And we had to do this process 3 times.
Wow.
Because we first had to do a count to see how many people were there total.
Right.
And then we did the first preference group breakdown, and then we had a handful of O'Malley people that had to split up. So everybody was kind of shaking their head like, why are we walking out of the room again? But they were counting people through the door to make
They're
sure.
They're trying to be accurate, but on the other hand, can be a little frustrating at times.
Yeah, so I had some guests up from Texas who were watching this, and they're like, oh my gosh, I didn't know this is how this actually works.
This is how it went down. I think a lot of people were thinking that as we got so much attention about the caucus last night. We need to get to you, Craig, but really quickly, what did last night mean for Hillary or Bernie? Does it give both of them a big push? Are we surprised by the Bernie numbers? What's going on?
Well, I think number one, the Clinton campaign was trying to avoid a result that happened in 2008, which was to be overwhelmed by in 2008 Obama. That didn't happen. Winning even a narrow victory is still a win, and so I think that's a big boost for her. Now we go to New Hampshire, where Sanders has a real advantage and is almost
double digits, isn't it?
Yeah, almost certain to win in New Hampshire. And what it means is we're going to have a longer primary.
Okay.
So had she won with a big margin, I think we might have seen this primary end pretty quickly, but I think Sanders is going to get a boost out of hanging in there, and we'll certainly be able to raise money and go through Super Tuesday.
Okay.
All right, now on the Republican side, some folks said it was quite a surprise not having the front runner take home the crown. Yeah,
huge turnout. I mean, when I'm in my precinct in Ankeny won, and we had probably 700 people at it at a little golf course that we held comfortably 150 last time. Different precinct, but same venue. Everyone, I sat there and talked to Jack Whitford, Rubio's campaign chair, who lives in the precinct too, and I mean, the thought process was all these new people. I mean, a third of the people were brand new registers.
Wow.
And so I thought that meant a Trump turnout in that precinct, and it wasn't. I mean, Rubio came, it went so long. Rubio got there a little bit after 8 o'clock, spoke, got 212 votes out of, that, and really walked away with it, had a big win. Trump was, 90 or 100 votes behind him in that precinct. So, the big turnout suggested a Trump victory, and here it was, Ted Cruz over 50,000 votes. I thought Cruz might struggle to get to 40,000 votes. I mean, he really blew the doors off, and his campaign was, I look at the map, just the colors of the counties and everything, and it's different than we've ever seen before, where these numbers, I mean, turnout was up everywhere. And Trump's problem is he never had a margin anywhere. He would win a county, but he never had the margin he needed. Rubio had margins in some counties over Trump, and Cruz definitely had that in a number of counties. Trump could win a county, he couldn't
dominate.
He couldn't build up like he should have. Mm-hmm. I mean, when you have 3,000 people at your rally in Burlington, Iowa, you should dominate. He squeaks out a win, So he won it, but he didn't. Those numbers advantage. He needed to dominate in some areas.
So who has the momentum going forward here?
Marco Rubio.
It's Rubio.
I mean, I think
even though finishing third, he has.
Yeah, I think the Iowa results resets the entire map, the entire campaign in New Hampshire. And in Iowa, we forwarded a social conservative, an establishment Republican, and an outsider. It's a three-person race moving forward, and I think it's those three. And Trump really, we will see how good of a candidate Donald Trump is, I think, in New Hampshire.
He sounded a little defeated last night.
Mm-hmm.
Like he didn't give his party his.
Well, he also didn't call us stupid or anything either.
That's
which
true,
is
but
good.
he was nice to Iowa. I was stunned by that.
Yeah, he said before, well, Iowa's gotten it wrong so many times, I don't care what the outcome is, where he was pretty gracious but very quick last night when he had
the campaign changes. People forget that, I mean, the advantage of Iowa and New Hampshire is we get these guys for a year, 18 months sometimes, or 10 months, whatever it is. It's a long, drawn-out campaign, and you can kind of feel your way through it. Mm-hmm. This now becomes, now it's 8 days before New Hampshire, and then it's, you really have intense campaigning going on. Is Donald Trump built for that? We don't know.
So what, it's New Hampshire, and then what, South Carolina?
South Carolina.
Okay.
I mean, it really becomes intense.
And we had a casualty with you guys as well, as Huckabee decided to drop out, and Santorum still kind of.
Well, let me just say, I think we will whack this field in half easily, and I think it's really a three-person race, and that's all that matters. People went into what mattered last night was viability, because those Huckabee and Santorum voters, if they liked them, I know plenty of them, I think they walked into their precinct, evaluated the situation, and said, okay, look at this turnout. I'm not going to vote for maybe what my heart's telling me. I'm going to vote for who I think's viable.
See, I've heard that a couple of different times, saying my heart's saying one thing, but my brain is saying something else.
Yeah, I know people who did that.
The other untold story on the Republican side, I think, last night is just the total collapse of the Bush campaign. I actually stopped at the Bush rally yesterday just to see.
Did you get $25 for it?
Yeah, well, I saw the protesters there, and it was like a wake. I mean, there was no energy in the room. People were sort of there to pay their respects to Jeb.
But let's think about this. Jeb Bush and that super PAC spent money attacking Rubio, never attacking Cruz, attacking Trump. I mean, the dynamic would have been completely different for Rubio had it not been for Right to Rise and the millions of dollars that they campaigned. I mean, I think Marco Rubio could have won this thing when you look at it. If the dynamic was different, if Trump was pushed out of the race. You almost wonder
if the attention backfired and really helped Rubio.
Could have.
Because with all that spending, you would think that it would take a toll, but his numbers sort of went up as he was getting attacked.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Okay,
so we get a break here in Iowa. We've had fun with the attention, but on the other hand, people are excited to have a little bit of a light switch. But what's next? We don't want to lose momentum. We don't want to lose all the passion that we've had here leading up to the caucus. What's next for us here in Iowa? Are we going to see these guys again?
Oh, I think so. I mean, I think by June we'll have presidential events in the state.
Will they be coming back to the fair?
Yeah, I think you'll see them.
Yeah, the fair will be popular again this year.
Yeah.
All right.
But maybe not Trump's helicopter.
No, probably not.
No rides for the kids.
By the way, one of the funnier tweets that came out was last night. A guy from Kansas City, sports reporter from Kansas City, put this out. It says Trump will join University of North Carolina, Michigan State, and Oklahoma as number ones lose in Iowa. So very fun.
All right.